Yeah, hello friend. Good morning, good evening. I hope everyone is doing good. So in today's session, I'm going to explain about the lookup transform optimization, right? So lookup transformation optimization. So how to optimize the lookup transformation, right? So inside the Informatica, we are using the lookup transformation in mostly in every mapping, right? There is a very common transformation we are using. Okay, so in lookup transformation, how to optimize, right? When your lookup transformation right get issue, like suppose if you are a huge performance issue, you are taking huge time, or kind of your wrong way we have written your query. So that kind of things, how to optimize, how to write. Optimizing means nothing, is just kind of the rule how to write the better way. That's query, same query, so nothing. Optimizing means just write the better way, right? Previous query also you're returning some value, right? But inside the optimizing process, you can write with some better way, right? Better approaches, so that you can take the huge data processing, because the millions of data when you come, and if you want to process, it will take the huge time, right? So that time you want to reduce, so that optimizing comes in pictures. So yeah, I'm going on next slide and I will explain in detail what is the optimizing. So in optimizing the lookup transformations, okay, so if the lookup table is in the same database, right? Just let's suppose your lookup is using like Oracle. Same data source means same data source means like Oracle. Okay, Oracle, Oracle, or SQL Server if you are using, right? SQL Server. Okay, so that kind of information you can use, right, table in your mapping. And caching is not feasible. Suppose here is just try to tell us if the table is in the same database, the source table is your mapping, and the caching is not feasible, then join the table in the source database rather than using the lookup. Why it suggesting us? Suppose your same table, right? You're just like Oracle. Let's example, this is the Oracle, one database, right? This is the database, and you are using the SQL qualifier on same database, and the lookup also the same database, right? So rather than using this kind of things, right, going to look up, and then better to transpose whatever you have written here, just transpose in the all query inside your SQL qualifier. That's what you're saying, so that your transformation, your query can be optimized rather than you're going to look up and cache reading, right? So everything will be transferred here. If you use a lookup transformation performing the following tasks to increase performance, what type of task? Like use the optimal database driver, right? Database driver you need to optimal, right? Use the cache lookup table, okay? Optimize the lookup condition. Suppose you have written that you need to just optimize what is the equal to, or less than equal to, like a date between. So you need to just sequencing, you need to arrange the sequencing of the condition so that your optimization can be perform well. Index the lookup table. First things, like your if you're using the same source, then you better to, if you can do like write the query, you can transpose in Oracle side. Otherwise there is some option like lookup cache table, optimize the lookup condition, filter lookup row. Okay, optimize the multiple lookup. Okay, create a pipeline lookup transformation and configure partition in the pipeline, that build the lookup source. Okay, so these things you need to perform so that you can optimize your lookup. So yeah, in how to optimize, first point you come in next slide. First point is use the optimal database driver. So what things? The integration service, right? Integration service Informatica is actually performing everything in via integration service. So integration service can connect a lookup table. Okay, there is a table. using a native database driver, okay, like ODBC driver. So native database drivers provide better session performance rather than ODBC database driver. So this is the some connectivity process, right? So that's what here is just try to tell that the integration service can connect to a lookup table using a native database driver or an ODBC database driver. So native database driver provide better session performance, okay, rather than ODBC database. That's what here is telling. You can go this way. Next point is lookup cache, right? So lookup tables, caching in lookup table. Suppose if a mapping contains, suppose your mapping contains more contains lookup transformation, you might want to enable lookup caching. Okay, so cache when you enable cache, the integration service caches the lookup table and the queries, right? So in the lookup cache during the session, when the option is not enabled, right, suppose you have not enabled that option, the integration service query the lookup table on a row by row. Suppose if you not enable that option, right, where is the option? Option is inside your lookup transformation. That's what here is telling. If a mapping contains lookup, suppose if inside the mapping you have taken the one lookup transformation, right, so you might want to enable where you know enable the lookup cache. So sometimes that cache is disabled, right? So you might want to enable the cache. When you enable the cache, the integration service cache the lookup table and the queries, whatever query written, right, the lookup cache during the session. When the option is not enabled, the integration service query the lookup table on a row by row. Let me show you where is the option. So I'm going in my slide. Yeah, here is the lookup transformation. Let me show you where is the lookup. Suppose here is I use the unconnected lookup in both way, unconnected and connected though. So here is one unconnected lookup. If you notice here is option, right? Here is the first option is lookup query override. Second option is lookup table, okay, and third option is source filter. Suppose you want to filter, here is the lookup cache enabled. That is this one is option. Suppose you have this option is disabled, right? So you can't cache the whatever the things, right, process. That's what here is just try to tell us, yeah, suggested us you need to enable that option so that you can cache the lookup table. Third option is lookup policy and multiple batches, right? Here you can just say use any value. So multiple time, most of the time we are using use any value, but other option also use first value. Suppose you want to first value or use last value. Suppose your multiple record coming, so always like that. If you report error or use any value, use any value means suppose whatever value coming, any value can come, right? Here is the lookup condition. Whatever condition you have given here, it will be come inside your this, okay. Now here is database connection information. Source type, what is the source is database, okay. Tracing level normal. Here you purpose if you want to read one by one, you can enable. Here is the cache directory. Here is by default cache directory given, but if you want, you have configured or created any directory inside your server, so you can provide the directory information here, okay. So now the lookup cache persistence. Suppose you want to enable the persistent cache, then you can do that way. Lookup data cache size, lookup here is the cache size auto, right, whatever and the lookup dynamic lookup cache. So all this is the option, right? Here is the old output old value in update. There are the multiple options, right? So I will explain one by one what is the meaning of that option, right? Lookup source is static, pre-built cache, sub-second partition, right? So here is a partitions given by default. This value is came, right? So this is all about the lookup, right? So we are the first point. I am going back on slide. Uh, okay. So in slide there is option given you first. If you mapping, right, contain that option I already show you, right? There you need to enable. So second point, the result of the lookup query and the processing is the same, right? Whether or not you cache the lookup table. However, using a lookup cache can increase session performance for a smaller table smaller lookup table. In general, you want to cache lookup table that need less than 300 MB. Is the space also required, right? And third point, I complete the following task to further enhance performance for lookup transformation. What type of task? Use the appropriate cache type, enable concurrent cache, optimize lookup condition matching, okay, reduce the number of cached row, or override the order by statement. So whatever you have written, that override the order by statement. So rather than your written by default, it will need to write overwrite option in SQL qualifier. Use a machine with more memory. Okay. So type of cache, how many type of cache? I already showed you in there the persistent cache. Here there is two type of cache. One is shared cache, another one persistent cache. What is the meaning of that? So in shared cache, you can share the lookup cache between multiple transformations, right? Multiple transformations, aggregator, whatever the transformation available. You can share an unnamed cache between transformation in the same mapping. You can share a named cache between transformation in the same or different mapping. Understood? So this is the point you can understand what is the shared cache, what is the persistence cache. Shared cache, I'm repeating again. Shared cache is nothing that kind of shared information, right? You understand the word. So you can share the lookup cache between multiple transformations, right? Whatever inside the mapping. You can share an unnamed cache, right? If there is no name, right? Cache between transformation in the same mapping, right? You can share the name. Suppose you have written some provided some name, right? So that name cache you can share between transformation in the same or different mapping, both way, so that you can call that same cache in different mapping actually. What is the persistence cache? Persistence is actually just to save and reuse the cache file. Suppose you can configure the transformation to use an persistence cache, right? Use the feature when you know the lookup table doesn't change between session run, right? This is complete depends on the condition, everything. You already know that things is not going to change during the your inside the mapping process, right? So then you can configure using a persistence cache can improve performance because the integration service build the memory cache from the cache file instead of from the database. Not going to database again and read that information from the database. They don't go right inside the persistence cache. They go in memory, and if you already configure and take that information from persistent cache, it will take bring that information and process those records. Okay, so that's what it will reduce the time. What time they reduce? The time reduced from when you are going to database, that kind of time it will be reduced. Okay, so this is all about the types of cache. Okay, here how to enable the concurrent cache, right? So when the integration service process session that contain lookup transformation, okay, the integration service build, how to build integration service build a cache in memory when it process the first row of data in a cache lookup transformation. Okay, if there are multiple lookup transformation in a mapping, the integration service create the cache sequentially. Okay, when the first row of data is processed by the lookup transformation, this slow lookup transformation processing. Okay, so there is multiple lookup transformation we use, then it will be sequence, right? That's what one by one it will be processed. So kind of slow. You can enable concurrent cache to improve performance. So in that case, when the number of additional concurrent pipeline is set to one or more, the integration service build cache concurrently rather than sequentially. So performance improve greatly when the session contain a number of active transformation that may take time to complete, such as aggregator, joiner, or sorter. Okay, when you enable multiple concurrent pipeline, the integration service no longer wait for active session to complete before it build the cache. Okay, so other lookup transformation in the pipeline also build cache concurrently. Okay, optimizing lookup condition matching. So this point is actually when the lookup transformation match, okay, lookup cache data with the lookup condition, it sort and order the data to determine the first matching value and the last matching value. You can configure the transformation to return any value that match the lookup condition when you configure the lookup condition. I already show this kind of information. If you notice here in property, here lookup multiple match condition, right? So they use first value, last value, here use any value. This value you can configure accordingly, right? That's what here is try to explain us. So in transformation, return any matching value. The transformation return the first value that match the lookup condition. It doesn't index, okay, all ports as it doesn't when you configure the transformation. Okay, to use any matching value, performing can improve because the transformation doesn't index on all part, which can slow performance. Reducing the number of cache row. You can reduce the number of rows included in the cache to increase performance. Use the lookup SQL override option to add a where clause to the default SQL statement. Okay. So overwriting the order by statement. Okay, by default the integration service generate an order by statement for a cache lookup. The order by statement contain all lookup port. Okay, to increase performance, suppress the default order by statement and enter an override with fewer column. The integration service always generates an order by statement even if you enter one in the override place, two dashes. Okay, so dashes is also important. You remember, right? Sometimes some written some dashes, right? The dash is also important after the order by override to separate the generated order by statement. It will be suppressed to generate the order by statement. Otherwise, it will be generate again, right? That's what here we are using two dots. So everything is the meaning, right? So yeah, let's put I explaining again so that you understand. Reducing the number of caches row. So you first point you can reduce the number of row included in the cache to increase performance. Use the lookup override option to add a where clause to default SQL. Instead of default SQL generation, you need to write the override query. Override the order by statement. How? By default, the integration service generate an order by statement for a cache lookup. The order by statement contain all column, all port, right? Whatever port you have taken to increase performance, suppress the default order by statement and enter and override order by with fewer columns. Don't include all columns, right? Just write the some fewer columns so that you can take the order by. Okay. So and after the integration service always generates an order by statement even if you enter one in the override. Place two dashes. After that order by then order by override to separate generated order by statement. I hope understand, right? So this is the point. So don't write the default because someone written like this. Yeah, let me show what things here. Suppose here he just still the write the override query. Instead of write query, suppose yeah I'm just taking this one and generating like this. There is no order by, right. So you need to write 1 second. Yeah, here from department I need to write the where condition also. After this otherwise I need to write order by department number. I am not including entire thing, and after that, okay, department number, DSC, whatever you want to, and include two dots, okay, like this, okay. So this way you can write, okay. So yeah, this way you can write this is the override query. Suppose here is taken department name, department number, and in department it will, suppose I'm not written any, suppose I'm not using anything, right. Just write here is some department number, the single table, and you are not writing the SQL override query. It will be automatically generate like select like department name, number and from department order by like this. Okay, whatever the condition you have mentioned, department number. So that's what here is tell you just write that information, so you can Informatica can restrict on particular those point. Okay, so can be restrict and include the these two dashes. Okay. Here, for example, if lookup transformation use the following lookup condition like some item ID, like item price less or equal to in price, right? So input value. The lookup transformation include three lookup ports used in the mapping: item name, item ID, name, and price. When they enter order by statement, enter the column in the same order as the port in the lookup condition. Don't write a different order, right? You must also include all database reserved word in quoted like double quote like this. Enter the following lookup query like this: select item name, item price, and the item ID from this order by item ID and the item price dotted. Suppose here I used three column, but I use going to order by from only two columns, right? And after that use the two dot. Okay, then this is the main standard of things, right? This is the important thing, how to write your query this way. This query you need to include your override SQL override. So last point is like the use a machine using a machine with more memory. So here to increase session performance, run the session and integration service mode with a large amount of memory. Increase the indexes and data cache size as high as you can without straining the machine. If the integration service node has enough memory, increase the cache so it can hold all in memory without paging index. Okay, so that one also part of your memory increasing part, otherwise it will take time to process your record. Here is some optimizing the lookup condition. What is the lookup basic, right? Which condition I take the first. So here is some option. If you include more than one lookup condition, okay, so place the condition if the lookup order is optimized. Lookup performance, what kind of first is equal to, after that less than or equal to, or greater than equal to. See the sequence, and at last you use the not equal to. Okay, so here is the option. First is equal to, okay, फिर then like equal to, फिर then less than equal to, okay, less than or equal to, like either you can use the less than or less than equal to, okay, or greater than, after that greater than or greater than equal to, okay, then not equal to. Okay, so this is the sequence. Let me show you in our mapping condition. Here is the condition, right? Here is all condition. The first option I told you there is equal to, after that less than. Here is the sequence is already keep in. So always you suppose you are using multiple condition, right? So you can use in same sequence. Don't include that first one is like this, less than equal to, then going first equal to, then use the less than, then lesser equal to, after that greater than, then greater than equal to, at last equal to. Suppose this option is not your mid condition and you want to use this one, right? So you can use this, but use always sequence. Don't equal to option use that last kind of. Okay, so this is all about this is the lookup conditions, right? How to use in sequence. So whatever, that's what Informatica given to a sequence, but someone was used the first is less line equal to, right? So it will be issue like in performance. Okay, so here, yeah, so filtering lookup rows. In this point, how to filter your lookup. So in create a filter condition to reduce the number of lookup row retrieved from the source when the lookup cache is built. Indexing the lookup table. The integration service need to query, sort, and compare values in the lookup condition column. Okay, The index needs to include every column used in a lookup condition. You can improve performance for the following type lookup. What type? Like cache lookup and uncached lookup. So in cache lookup, to improve performance, index the column lookup order by statement, the session log contain the order by statement. Okay, in cache lookup. In cache lookup, like to improve performance, index the column in the lookup condition. The integration service issue a select statement for each row that pass into the lookup transformation. Okay, I hope understood you. Okay. So if not, you can just comment. I will again will explain. Okay. So how to optimize the multiple lookup? So in this point, I will optimize if a mapping contain multiple lookup, right? Even the cache caching enable and enough heap memory, the lookup can slow performance. Okay, to tune the lookup transformation, that query the largest amount of data to improve overall performance. How? To determine which lookup transformation process the most data. Just determine. Examine the lookup row in a lookup cache counter for each lookup transformation. The lookup transformation that have a large number in the counter might benefit from tuning their lookup expression. If those expression can be optimized, session performance improvements. Okay. So this is all about the lookup, how to optimize the lookup things. I will explain, just I'm summarizing the point which one we use. So here is just point like how to lookups, right? The all point like how to cache, right? Okay, enable concurrent cache, optimize lookup conditions. Okay, condition you can use the sequence wise, reduce the number of cache row, override the order by statement, use a machine with more memory. So this all kind of things I was used. Okay, so you can just go through everything. Okay, and just let me know if you have more question on this point. But yeah, this is all about the lookup cache, how to optimize this thing. The and inside the optimizations. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching my channel. Thanks, please keep subscribing me, okay, this channel, so that I can provide you the more information in day by day. Yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah.